Hey everyone, welcome to the English on Air podcast, your cozy place for real English, real conversations, and thoughtful ideas for everyday life.
Yes, welcome back. If you are here to improve your English and also hear something honest and meaningful, you are in the right place. I'm your host, Ella.
And I'm Leo. Ella, how are you today?
I'm good. A little tired, but in a calm way, not in a bad way.
A calm tired. That's actually a nice feeling.
Yes, one of those days where you did enough and now you just want tea, soft music, and no stress.
That sounds perfect. My day was a bit full, I had a few things to finish, a few messages to answer, and by the end I just wanted some quiet.
Quiet feels more and more valuable these days.
It really does. Sometimes I think peace has become one of the most underrated things in life.
I agree. People talk a lot about success, productivity, being busy, doing more, but peace, real inner peace, that feels rare.
And actually, that fits today's topic very well.
Yes, it does, because today we're talking about something that quietly steals people's peace.
Today's topic is don't waste your life living for other people.
Deep one today.
Very deep. Maybe a little uncomfortable too.
Yes, but in a good way. The kind of uncomfortable that helps you wake up a little.
Exactly. And don't worry, we'll keep it warm, simple, and easy to follow for English learners.
Yes, so relax, listen slowly, and stay with us.
And if you enjoyed this episode, follow the podcast and share it with someone who might need this message too.
Especially that person who is always trying to be everything for everyone.
Yes, they may really need this conversation. Okay, Ella, let's begin with something simple. What does it mean to live for other people?
For me, it means building your choices too much around other people's opinions, expectations, or approval, and not enough around your own truth.
Let's make that even simpler.
Sure, it means you stop asking, "What do I really want?" and start asking, "What will make other people happy with me?"
Ah, yes, that's very clear.
Maybe you choose a path because it looks good to others. Maybe you say yes when you want to say no. Maybe you stay quiet because you don't want conflict. Maybe you hide parts of yourself because you want to be accepted.
So, little by little, your life starts looking more like a performance than something real.
Exactly. And sometimes from the outside, everything looks fine.
That's the tricky part.
Yes, people may even praise you. They may say, "You're so responsible," or "You're so kind," or "You always do the right thing."
And inside, you may feel tired, lost, or strangely empty.
Yes, because doing what looks right is not always the same as living what feels true.
That's strong.
I think many people don't waste their life in loud, dramatic ways. They waste it quietly, by postponing themselves, by making themselves smaller, by living according to what keeps everyone else comfortable.
Quietly. That word matters.
It really does.
You know, this topic makes me think of something. Living for other people is a little like wearing clothes that look beautiful, but they're not really yours.
Oh, that's good.
Maybe everyone says, "Wow, you look great," but inside the clothes feel tight, uncomfortable, unnatural.
Yes, and after some time, you stop asking whether the clothes fit you. You just keep wearing them because everyone is used to seeing you that way.
Exactly.
That is what happens to a lot of people emotionally. They build a version of themselves that is acceptable, impressive, useful, or easy for others, but it doesn't feel like home.
A version that is accepted but not deeply alive.
Yes, and that can become painful after a while.
So let's make this real. Have you ever had a moment where you realized you were living too much for other people?
Yes, definitely. I remember a time in my life when I said yes to almost everything.
The classic yes season.
Exactly. If someone needed help, yes. If someone wanted my time, yes. If someone expected something from me, yes.
And from the outside, that probably looked very good.
It did. I looked kind, available, dependable, but inside I was slowly becoming exhausted.
That's the hidden cost.
Yes, because the problem was not kindness. The problem was that I had stopped checking in with myself. I was giving so much energy away that I had very little left for my own mind, my own rest, my own dreams, my own quiet.
Did you realize it suddenly or slowly?
Slowly, but one day it became very clear. I remember feeling busy all the time, useful all the time, needed all the time, but not peaceful.
Useful, but not peaceful.
Yes, that sentence stayed with me. I thought, I am doing so much, but why does my life not feel like mine?
That question hit hard.
It did. And that was the beginning of change for me. Not a dramatic change, just a more honest one.
What did that honesty sound like?
It sounded like, I can't do that today. It sounded like, I need rest. It sounded like, I don't actually want this. Small sentences, but very important ones.
I like that. Small, honest sentences. Mine was a little different. For me, it was not always about saying yes. Sometimes it was more about trying too hard to look okay.
Ah, yes, that's another form of it. I think there were times when I cared too much about how people saw me. I wanted to appear capable, calm, put together, successful.
Very human, but tiring. Because when you spend too much energy managing your image, you stop paying attention to your inner life.
Yes, you become loyal to the image, not to yourself.
Exactly. It's like cleaning the outside of a window while the room behind it is getting darker and darker.
That image is beautiful and sad at the same time.
That's how it felt. From the outside, everything looked fine, but inside, I was disconnected from what I actually felt, what I actually needed.
And I think many people live that way for years. They become very good at looking fine.
Yes, looking fine is a skill, but it is not the same as being well.
Very true.
So how can someone know if they're living too much for other people? Let's give listeners some signs.
Yes. Sign number 1, you feel guilty when you choose yourself.
That's a big one.
Maybe you rest and feel guilty. Maybe you say no and feel guilty. Maybe you protect your time and feel guilty. Even healthy choices feel wrong.
Because somewhere inside, you learn that your value comes from pleasing others.
Exactly.
What's another sign?
You don't really know what you want anymore.
That one hurts.
Yes. Because if you spend years becoming what others expect, one day someone asks, "What do you want?" and you genuinely don't know.
That can feel scary, but also revealing.
Yes. It doesn't mean something is broken forever. It just means you need to reconnect with yourself.
Good. What else?
Another sign is that you are always performing, always being the nice one, the strong one, the successful one, the easy one, the one who can handle everything.
Like wearing a role all the time.
Exactly. And roles become heavy when you never take them off.
One more?
Yes, resentment. Good word. Let's explain it.
Resentment is a quiet feeling of anger or hurt when something feels unfair. So maybe you keep giving and helping and showing up, but inside you feel upset.
Because deep down, part of you knows you're giving more than you truly want to give.
Exactly. So why do people do this? Why do we live for other people?
I think the biggest reason is fear.
Fear of rejection.
Yes, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of disappointing people, fear of being misunderstood.
Sometimes being yourself feels risky.
It does. And for some people, this goes back a long time. Maybe they learned very early that love came when they were helpful, quiet, successful, good, easy.
So later in life, they keep trying to earn love by becoming what others want.
Yes, it becomes almost automatic.
And I think culture plays a role too. Family expectations, social expectations, what looks respectable, what sounds impressive.
Definitely. Caring about family or community is not wrong, but if those voices become louder than your own inner voice, you slowly disappear from your own life.
That sentence is huge. You slowly disappear from your own life.
Yes. And another problem is that many people confuse approval with peace.
Explain that.
They think, if everyone is happy with me, then I will finally feel calm. But approval is not peace.
That is such an important point.
Yes, you can have everyone's approval and still feel empty. Real peace often begins when you become more honest, not more approved.
Okay, so how do we stop this? Let's make it practical.
Yes. Step 1, tell yourself the truth.
Honesty first.
Always. Ask yourself, where am I pretending? Where am I saying yes when I mean no? Where am I making myself smaller? Whose voice is louder than my own?
Those questions can change a lot.
Yes, because you cannot change what you refuse to see.
Step 2?
Start small.
Good. Not dramatic. Not all at once.
Exactly. People hear a topic like this and think they must change their whole life tomorrow. No, start with one honest sentence, one small boundary, one moment where you pause before pleasing everyone automatically.
Give us an example.
Instead of saying yes immediately, say, "Let me think about it."
That's such a useful sentence.
Yes, it creates space, and space helps you hear yourself.
Another example might be asking, do I actually want this, or do I just want to be seen well?
Yes, that's a powerful question too.
What's the third step?
Learn the difference between kindness and self-abandonment.
That's excellent.
Kindness is giving with honesty and choice. Self-abandonment is giving while leaving yourself behind.
So the outside action may look the same, but inside it is completely different.
Exactly. Helping someone because you want to is beautiful. Helping because you're afraid they will be angry, disappointed, or critical is different.
That's not love, that's fear.
Yes. And if fear is always leading your choices, your life stops feeling free.
So step 4?
Get comfortable disappointing people a little.
Oof, hard one.
Very hard, but necessary. Because if you never disappoint anyone, you may spend your whole life disappointing yourself.
That line is the heart of this episode.
I think so too.
People may not always understand your choices.
And that has to be okay. Being understood by everyone cannot be the price of being true to yourself.
Let's do a quick words section for listeners.
Yes, a little word tour.
First word, approval.
Approval means other people accepting, liking, or agreeing with what you do. Example, he was always looking for approval from others.
Next word, expectation.
Expectation is what someone thinks should happen or how they think you should behave. Example, she felt pressure from her family's expectations.
Next, boundary.
A boundary is a healthy limit that protects your time, energy, or emotions. Example, I set a boundary and said I was not available that evening.
Next word, resentful.
Resentful means quietly angry or hurt because something feels unfair. Example, he felt resentful because he was always giving too much.
Next phrase, shrink yourself.
To shrink yourself means to make yourself smaller, quieter, or less true in order to make others comfortable. Example, she kept shrinking herself to fit other people's expectations.
Beautifully explained.
And one more word, peaceful.
A lovely word.
Peaceful means calm inside, not full of stress or inner conflict. Example, she looked successful, but she did not feel peaceful.
If you're listening, choose one of those words and make your own sentence with it.
Yes, small practice, but very powerful.
Okay, so what can someone do today after listening to this?
Let's make it simple.
Good.
First, take 5 quiet minutes and ask, what am I doing mainly for other people right now?
That question alone can reveal a lot.
Second, write one honest sentence. For example, I am tired of always being available. I am afraid of disappointing people. I don't know what I really want. I need more space for myself.
Very simple, very real.
Third, choose one tiny act of honesty this week.
Like what?
Like saying, I can't do that today. Let me think about it. I need rest. That doesn't work for me. Or even just being quiet instead of automatically agreeing.
I like that this is not about drama, it's about truth.
Exactly. No big performance, just a small return to yourself.
And maybe one more thing. Spend a little time without noise. No phone, no people, no pressure. Just enough silence to hear your own thoughts again.
Yes, because when your life is full of other people's voices, silence becomes very important.
I think we should also say this clearly. If you realize you have been living too much for other people, do not punish yourself.
Yes, please don't turn awareness into self-hate.
Don't say, I ruined my life, or I wasted everything.
No, say, now I see it more clearly. Now I can begin differently.
That's much healthier.
Awareness is not a punishment, it is a gift.
And change does not need to be loud to be real.
Yes, sometimes a huge life change begins with one quiet sentence. I want something different.
Beautiful. Let's recap the main ideas from today.
Yes.
Living for other people means making too many life choices based on their approval, opinions, or expectations.
Some signs are guilt when you choose yourself, not knowing what you want, always performing, and feeling resentful.
People do this because of fear, pressure, old habits, and the deep desire to be accepted.
To change, begin with honesty. Ask where you are pretending, shrinking, or saying yes when you mean no.
Start small. One sentence, one pause, one honest choice.
And remember, if you never disappoint anyone, you may spend your whole life disappointing yourself. Before we finish, we want to ask you something.
Yes, your turn.
What is one area of your life where you think you may be living too much for other people?
And what is one small, honest change you want to make this week?
Think about it quietly, write it down, or share it in the comments if you want.
And if this episode helped you, follow the podcast and share it with someone who needs this conversation.
Maybe someone who looks fine on the outside, but inside feels tired of trying to be everything for everyone.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
And remember, choosing yourself does not mean you do not care about others.
It simply means your life matters too.
This was the English On Air podcast with Leo and Ella.
Be kind to yourself.
And don't waste your life becoming someone else's version of you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. See you in the next episode.
Your learning doesn't stop here. Click on the next video and continue your English journey with us.